recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I want to thank our witnesses for being here today, including Professor Yadav, who's from my home state of Tennessee and also from my alma mater of Vanderbilt. Welcome to all of you. I think it's imperative that we continue to discuss digital assets because America's national and economic security are greatly enhanced by the preeminence of our financial system. And in order to maintain this immense competitive advantage, we've got to stay abreast of innovation. This involves embracing technological advancements, as unusual as they may seem, in order to preserve our economic strength and our strength as an ally and an enforcer on the global stage. Blockchain technology represents one of these areas of rapid innovation, and rather than incentivize their movement offshore, we should work to foster a safe and certain environment for them to flourish here in the United States. So, Professor Jing, I'd like to start with you. In your testimony, you highlighted the importance of payment tokens like stablecoins to the digital asset ecosystem. And I agree with this characterization, as not only will these tokens help usher in faster and cheaper payments for Americans, but if allowed to develop, they'll also advance the role of the U.S. dollar abroad. However, as you also mentioned, trust in the assets backing such tokens is crucial. Unless users are confident in what is backing these tokens, their adoption will be severely constrained. That's why I introduced a straightforward and light touch bill last year to set the standard for assets backing stablecoins and to require their issues to publish audited reports of their reserves. So, Professor Jing, do you believe, like many of those who are hostile to the technology, that only a central bank digital currency issued by the Fed can serve the function of a payment token?
Thank you, Senator, for this important question, because there are certainly different types of ways to transfer value. CBDCs definitely could be one of them.
But not exclusively that.
But not exclusively. What is...
I agree. I want to keep moving because I've got a lot to cover today. What kind of legal clarity would be necessary to help encourage the adoption of stablecoins other than the one that we just spoke about, issued by the Fed?
I think it's very important that we have a clear regulatory framework that utilizes public feedback. What we have been missing has been rulemakings through the public process, and we need public input. Regulators need to better understand the technology and also gather the best ideas out there on how to oversee the industry.
No, you made this clear when you cited the fact that there have only been two sort of minor rulemaking activities by each of the SEC and the CFTC, while there have been 30 of these retroactive litigation cases at the SEC and 18 at the CFTC. That is not the way to run things in a rearward, hindward-looking piecemeal basis. Let's turn on now to something that's concerning me very, very much. In the past few weeks, there's been a coordinated chorus of regulators talking about severing crypto from our financial system. To me, this really feels reminiscent of Operation Choke Point, an exercise under the Obama administration that I strongly disagreed with. And in Operation Choke Point, politically disfavored entities, although legal, were cut off from banking services in order to achieve partisan gains. At the same time, I've heard from some of my colleagues, particularly on the other side of the aisle, that they're fine with not regulating crypto. Just let it go overseas and not legitimize it. But to that I say, what happens to the hundreds of thousands of users from Tennessee that are already transacting in crypto? Are we simply not going to create safeguards to protect these consumers? And where do U.S.-based crypto innovators go? To that end, Congress needs to write legislation to properly regulate this industry so we can protect consumers and remain at the cutting edge of a rapidly evolving space. It's becoming increasingly apparent that the SEC isn't going to do its job, so it's on us, now more than ever, to make sure that we have proper safeguards in place and to make certain that another FTX-like event never happens again. So, Professor Jing, what effect would a wholesale debanking of the crypto industry have on the industry's activity here in the United States and globally?
Please be brief in your answers. We have one more witness, and Senator Scott and I are late to votes. That's our fault, not yours, but be brief with your answer if you could. Thank you.
The crypto industry is an industry that needs access to banking services. If it does not have access to banking, it will either go offshore or into shadow banking, again, bifurcating the U.S. financial system, to which our own U.S. regulators will not be able to see and monitor and regulate those parts of that system where they have fled to. And then if it were to be offshore to other countries, those countries would end up having leadership in digital innovation.
Just like Binance, and Binance will laugh all the way to the bank because they'll fill
Thank
the
you,
space.
Senator Hagerty.